Welcome back to Great Days Medical Monday. Did you know people can literally die of a broken heart? It's called broken heart syndrome. The heart can stop beating after experiencing emotional trauma due to the loss of a loved one. And we spoke with a local mom who almost died of broken heart syndrome. Her name is Janet Elby, and her son was killed in an accident last year. Devin was just 23 when he fell asleep at the wheel and flipped his truck.
It was my first child, my only son. I don't think you ever get over it. I don't go into his room often, but everything is in there the way it was. The photo boards from the funeral home are still in there. It's just a mess, just like he left it. If I really, really miss him, I haven't done his laundry. And I'll go in sometimes just to pick up his clothes and smell him, because it still smells like him. It's like losing your whole world. Your soul. It's hard. You can't really, there's no words. My heart just couldn't take it. After he passed away, I had a heart attack. And I was diagnosed with coronary arteriovascular spasms, which are caused from severe emotional stress. I have to be really careful when I get emotional, overly emotional, especially because that's what causes the spasms. He's in my mind constantly. I'm stuck the day he flipped that truck. It's hard for me to go on.
Devin would have turned 25 this past Thursday, and broken heart syndrome is brought on by the heart's reaction to a surge of stress hormones. A part of your heart temporarily enlarges and no longer pumps blood, and the rest of it is having spasms, and it feels like a heart attack. But how do you get through a loss like that without having an overwhelming amount of stress? We asked our therapist, Lindsay Walden, to give us some advice on how to overcome a devastating loss and how to actually move on. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, it's you know, I don't want to somehow be glib about it or make people think that this is easy. Like,
right.
I mean, I can't imagine the grief and the trauma, literally what it would feel like to go through personally. But as a therapist, you know, definitely there are kind of things we can do to help alleviate it some, but also recognizing the stages of grief, they're going to happen, and sometimes we just need to let them happen.
And the stages, of course, again, are...
Yeah, they're not always going to go in the same order, but
okay,
we're going to have, you know, a certain amount of sadness, anger,
denial,
grief, and, denial and acceptance are the stages of grief. And
I always thought they went in a certain order. I don't know why they're always listed that way.
Most people think they do, but honestly, you know, you can go through, maybe you have some denial, and then you get maybe like, okay, today's a good day, I'm going to accept it, and then like tomorrow it's like, oh, I'm really sad, I'm really angry, and you can kind of flip between them a lot. It's not as linear.
So what would you tell Jana? She says she's stuck and she can't move on, so what can she do?
Yeah, I think that letting her have the space to feel what she's feeling. I mean, I think therapy could be a helpful thing for anybody going through even, you know, something like that or something maybe not as severe even, to allow them to kind of go through the processes, because a lot of times friends and family are going to want to kind of be like, oh, you know, it'll be okay, or, you know, and I tell people, I don't ever look at you and tell you it's going to be okay, because I don't know that it's going to be okay. I'm going to do everything I can to help, but at the same time, sometimes we just want to be validated and told like, yep, that really, really is awful. That sucks. This is not fair. This is awful, awful. And family and friends sometimes aren't as like able to get to that place, because it feels like almost they would be like they want to be kind of like the it's okay, it's going to be okay, like let's go do this instead kind of thing.
She mentioned that she doesn't go in his room anymore, and she hopes to soon pack up his stuff. Is there a way to do that that makes it easier?
You know, I think that what I would do, and I'm kind of a very like let the client or let the person seeking the kind of help be the one to kind of guide us, and so it would be like, let's start with one thing. Maybe he has, you know, some winter clothes or something, and it's like, you know what, okay, I'm going to keep this one sweater that reminds me of him, but I'm going to donate these other 6 to some people that need it, or something like that, and trying to find a way to give memory and to give like purpose.
And you mentioned in the break that a lot of people are stuck in that place because they're afraid if they go on, they'll somehow forget
Yeah.
their loved one or dishonor them.
Yeah, it's almost like if I clean his room or if I donate his clothes or if I, sell his car or, whatever those things are, that it's somehow going to erase the memory or that we're going to forget. And the truth is that she'll never forget.
Right.
But at this point, especially if it's causing her like actual physical like issues, we want to do something to allow some alleviation of that so that she doesn't have to go through such a traumatic ordeal all the time.
So you would talk to your client about maybe how they could maybe memorialize them and seek some closure to allow them to go on.
Yeah, like, to honor them in some way. Maybe we want to start a website and encourage people to, be aware of something, or maybe we want to have a scholarship in his name, or maybe we want to, any number of things. I don't want to be the person that says this is what you should do. It's more so, well, what would feel right? What would they want?
Great, great information. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if you would like to learn more, you can contact Lindsay on her website. We have a link on our website, greatdaystlouis.com. Matt?
Thank you, Virginia. There is more Great Day coming up after the break,
including a look at the 7-day forecast. Maybe some flurries in the forecast and maybe some snow, as in we may be looking at it on the ground before this is all over with. We'll check it all out coming up.